What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As a lot of you have known, the Speed6 decided to grenade its own engine due to a bunch of failures that we had. I did a live video kind of clearing up some things that people were saying. I just want to let you guys know off the bat, it was not a tune that was the issue, and I don't think it was the engine build that was the issue either. I am solely believing that the amount of fuel that washed down the cylinders when we originally had the problem with the car shutting off was the sole culprit of washing down the cylinders, wiping out the bearings, all that stuff, and just led to what it is now with some rod knock. So basically this teardown series is going to consist of today's video, which is going to be draining all the fluids out. I got my man Vince out here to help me. We're going to drain all the fluid and pull the front bumper off, the front core support, all that stuff to expose the front of the engine and kind of start moving some things out of the way and taking some parts off to get ready to pull the engine. I will give you guys a breakdown here of what we're going to do and what we got in store. So strap in and stay tuned. All right, guys, so like I said, time to start breaking it down. First thing I'm going to do is jack the car up just a tad. We're going to get the bumper off and get the fluids to start draining. That way we can have no oil in the motor, no coolant in the car, especially the front core support area, and then start dismantling the front end because the whole front clip just pulls off. A lot of things are going to be changing. I shouldn't say a lot, but there's some major factors that are going to be changing on the setup as far as certain things. The turbo staying the same, fuel staying the same, kinda. Fuel system's going to change a little bit. But aesthetically, it's pretty much going to stay the same. We're going to jump to it, pull the bumper off, and we'll get to you guys in a minute.
It's not for me to say you love. Go with the brothers, boo, you know how we do. It's
All right, guys, so we got the bumper off, car up in the air, and we're going to drain some fluids, do the oil and coolant. Just got to transfer some oil and stuff out of here so I have room to drain it. Worst case, I have another drain pan I can use as well. But yep, fluids out. I'm going to do oil, coolant. Not going to worry about trans fluid or PTO fluid. I'll do those when the engine's out of the car. But yeah, let's get to it. Got to check to see if there's any metal in the oil, which I'm pretty interested to see. So let's get to it. As soon as it comes out, just let it go. All right.
The bolt, just let it go.
Yeah. Once it shoots out, just let the bolt go and it'll drop in here. Got Vince draining the oil, doing the honors. All right. So once you start oil coming out, it's almost there. So keep going. All right. It's probably right about. Does it feel like it's about to pop out?
Yep. If we could one more.
All right. One more, and then pull it. Just pull it straight out and. There you go. Nice. That's good. Hold your hand over that. There you go. See, it's green. So while this is draining, you guys can see it doesn't look like there's any metal, like significant metal shavings. Oh, you can see it looks really clean. It looks like it did when it went in. You know, I don't see anything out of the ordinary. You know, I don't see anything on my finger. Really cool oil, for sure. A little bit of, kind of like, that might be some like metallic right there. Very minuscule amount of metallic, or that could be debris on my finger. It's not looking terrible. So what this tells me so far is that there is not an extreme amount of damage, because like I said, there's not a whole lot going on here. If you guys can see this inside here, we got some kind of metallic something going on. I don't know if that's just part of the zinc and stuff in there or what, but only time will tell. Granted, we've only ran this car at idle with this oil in it, so there's probably not gonna be too much going on, but all the other oil changes recently haven't had any kind of metal anything in it. So I'm interested to see what the inside of the filter looks like. Probably not any different than that. So we're gonna go back to letting the oil drain. I'm not gonna bore you guys with that, and start draining the coolant and get that out of here, and get ready to pull the front end off. Gotta take the charge pipes off, all that stuff, and start exposing the front end. So let's get to it. Guys, just finished up a little Instagram live while we're doing this. Coolant's draining now. Yeah, if you guys want behind the scenes stuff, you gotta go follow me on Instagram, and you guys can get behind the scenes stuff, videos that before they even come out, so you know what's going on. But yeah, we're just waiting for most of the coolant to drain out, and then that way we can start disassembling the I'll probably start doing the intercooler pipes now and get those off, so we can start getting ready to pull the front end off. That's exciting, huh? My man Vince is crushing it out here, just draining oil, all the things.
He had an explosion on the floor.
Yeah, the freaking coolant just rushed out. It was like kind of dripping out, splattering, and then I pulled the cap off.
And it just splattered.
Shot everywhere.
Shot everywhere.
You can tell the floor is like different, like it's darker because I just wiped up a bunch of coolant that splashed everywhere. Hilarious. But, yep, I'm just going to let this kind of drain out the rest of the way. And we're going to start pulling some stuff apart. What do you say, dude? Ready to get at it?
Yep.
So, got everything off, intercooler, everything. Just gonna get ready to pull off the whole front core support and expose everything in the engine bay to get ready to start undressing everything. I'm gonna leave everything on the motor. Just gonna take the wire harness off and everything and pull the whole thing out as a whole unit, and then kind of disassemble it out of the car. But I told you guys that we have a huge surprise. And as you guys know, Speed Performance had sponsored the motor for the RX-8. Well, after this happened, I reached out to Speed Performance and told them what happened. And they're like, dude, let's do this. Let's take that built bottom end you have for the RX-8 and toss it in the Speed 6 and get this thing back up and running. And we're going to build something even more nasty for the RX-8. And I'll get to that one at a later date. But basically what's going to happen is I have a brand new bottom end that we're going to be putting in this thing. I'm going to take the cylinder head off this one because it still should be good undamaged. Take it to the machine shop. The guy said he can have it done in 3 days. Decked, cleaned, resealed, and checked over, ready to go. So we can put together essentially a new long block and be ready to go. So yeah, without further ado, here is the new short block. Guys, here it is. A SP63. It's a keyed crank, and it is a I-beam, Manly I-beam motor with their custom SP63 pistons. Looking super nice, all fresh and ready to go. It's been in a bag for months, and yeah, it's a complete built bottom end, and this is going to be the new heart for the Speed 6. I already have brand new fresh head studs and stuff ready to go for this guy. It's gonna be sick. So all I gotta do is get a new timing set and a gasket set for the motor, and we are going to basically take that out, send the head off to the machine shop. Not this one, this is a spare, but send that one off to the machine shop, get it cleaned up, ready to go, and essentially start putting this motor together and get it ready to drop in. And like I said, there's going to be some things that we do while the motor's out, and that's going to be stuff like checking over the clutch, and just making sure everything's good to go. We know our fuel system is good now because of all the stuff we just replaced. So it's gonna be sick, dude. I'm really pumped about this, that, you know, I have the support that I do, and everything's just going the way that it you know, it's going, and I appreciate it. It's all due to you guys supporting the channel so much. But yeah, honestly, this whole thing's gonna be brand freaking new. I'm hoping that there's minimal damage on the bottom end of this, so we can maybe just do some bearings, clean some things up, and have a spare short block ready to go, just in case, you know, anything happens to any one of our cars in the future. Maybe disassemble the full short block and just redo the piston rings and bearings, all that stuff, and just, you know, save it for a rainy day, just like we have here. So really excited. Yeah, so the next thing you're going to see in this video is me tearing out the front end here and start getting stuff disconnected, like the axles, suspension, stuff like that, out of the way, so that we can get ready to pull the motor. So again, huge thanks to Pablo and all the guys over there at SP63. I really appreciate you guys. This is amazing. I really can't wait, and I really can't wait for you guys to see what's going to be going into the RX-8 now. Insane. I mean, I'm talking 4-digit power, so it's going to be sick. This short block here is actually good for, it's the same internals they used on their shop car that made over 1,000 horsepower. The only thing that's preventing this one from doing that is stock sleeves. So yeah, I think we're going to try to push old girl here to, you know, close to 800 horsepower, and set her up and get ready to go, because we're full sending this thing when it's back together for all the time that it's spent down. So I really appreciate you guys at Speed Performance. Like I said, I'm super grateful, and a lot more to come. So let's continue tearing this thing down and get this thing one step closer to pulling the motor. Front core support is off. All comes off as one piece. And just started undoing some wiring. Forgot to pick up the camera, but I got the whole engine harness off. And now I'm just gonna start clearing out like the AC lines and stuff like that, and just kind of getting everything out of the way. Undo the fuel system, that's the biggest one, and then all the vacuum lines run into the firewall. Start getting that all undone, cleaning up this area, pop the, you know, shift linkage and all that stuff off, unplug the other sub harness off the engine that goes to the rest of the car, and yeah, before you know it, we'll be ready to hook this thing up to a cherry picker and pull it out. So it's coming along. Have you ever sat and said to yourself, man, I really need this certain tool. I should have bought it the last time I said I needed this tool. Well, that's me right now, because it's totally preventing me from yanking the motor right now, is a 1/2-inch impact gun, because I don't have one. I just have these DeWalt mini impact drivers, and it's just not enough to get the axle nut off. And I'm a one-man show here, so just waiting on my buddy Jeff or Dom. Dom just got a 1/2-inch.
That's what she said. Hey, nice.
So, yeah, other than that, everything's good. I got the clutch line out of the way. Take it off like this so you don't have to re-bleed your clutch. Just unbolt the brackets from the transmission, and that way you don't have to bleed it again. Yeah, all the other lines are pretty much off. The only thing I might have to do is take this compressor housing off in order to bolt on the other engine point, or engine hoist point. But yeah, everything else is pretty much off. But like I said, the exhaust V-band, I'm gonna have to order another one of these anyway, because the threads are just jacked on this one. So I'm gonna order another V-band clamp. But yeah, literally just pulling the axles is the only thing I gotta do before I can start taking the motor mounts loose and all that stuff. So I'm not gonna bore you with popping the axles, because they're easy. I usually just take the top bolt here and just zap that off, let the arm drop, and then the axle should pop out enough to where you can get it out of the way. I might have to take the brakes, the calipers off, but other than that, pretty simple. Nothing too crazy. Guys, it's been like 2 weeks since I picked up the camera last. It has been super busy. I've had a lot of house projects to do. Just a bunch of stuff going on, man. I had new fence posts I put up because my old fence blew down during the storm, so I had dug up the yard, put new fence posts in, and, you know, tore up the grass in the meantime, but put new topsoil and seed down, so that's all working in. Got a new badass grill here, a smoker grill combo, but the car has literally been sitting like this for the last 2 weeks, just ready to rip out. Everything else is disconnected. Like, this is all undone. It's just hanging up here, ready to go, like you guys seen, you know, in the previous clips. But literally, we are ready to take off. I just popped the turbo off because I didn't want anything to get damaged while this is hooked up. All my chains are tight and ready to go. And the last thing I need to do is disconnect the motor mount. So I'm literally going to start with the rear motor mount down the bottom of the car, take that off, and then undo each mount and get ready to pull this thing off. I got a big old truck tire here ready to go to put the engine on. And then my plan is to, once the engine's out, I can put the arm back up and the wheel back on and get ready to roll the car out of the garage, because I'm going to use this half of the garage for engine breakdown and rebuild while the car sits outside. So that's the plan. Let's get these motor mounts out and the engine out. All right, just taking the mounts off. Got my passenger motor or trans mount pretty much already undone here. Like I said in the beginning of the video, guys, always put your hardware in bags. Like, even I break it down, trans mount bushing. So I know it's the 2 bolts for that. It just helps, man. It does. This one just slides out. The other one's got some tension on it, so I know I need to. I'm probably gonna save that one for last. For now, I'm gonna jump over to the passenger motor mount, and all I'm gonna do is undo these 2 bolts right here, and that should free me up, but I gotta undo the ground strap first. So let me do that. I'll pop these off, and then we'll get a shot of us pulling this thing out and be ready to go. Okay, I'm gonna slowly try to get this thing out of here. Kind of hard, one man. Peeing out more fluids as expected. Okay, boys. Vince, you want to back up? I got my man Vince on the camera.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I missed one hose. One hose. The PTO on the transfer case where it meets the hard line. We are free! Woo!
Freedom!
Next time, I'm buying a like an engine hoist leveling crane to go on the end of this. Why am I not moving? Stuck on something. Is that it? Come on. The perks of being by yourself. Here we go. Just gotta lower it down a little bit to clear my garage. It's pretty sick, dude.
Yep.
We're out.
A little different than before because the pipe is still up, but it's empty.
Yeah, it is empty. So, yeah, man. Now we just gotta take this thing, put it on this thing, and get this cleaned up, and get ready to start freaking disassembling, man. I'm pumped. But you guys are gonna have to wait until next episode because we're gonna be breaking this thing down and getting into the goods. I'm gonna pop the transmission off, transfer case, and all the accessories, and then we're gonna start breaking down the motor to find out what happened. But until next time, guys, we will see you later. Peace.